Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tathojayam Mudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtake. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance, the class on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, verse number 16. Vicakṣaṇah yac-caraṇopasādanāt saṅgaṁ vyudasyobhayato ntar-ātmanaḥ vindanti brahma-gatiṁ gata-klamās tasmai subhadra-śravase namaḥ vicakṣaṇā yac-caraṇopasādanāt vicakṣaṇā yac-caraṇopasādanāt saṅgaṁ vyudasyobhayato ntar-ātmanaḥ vindanti brahma-gatiṁ gata-klamās tasmai subhadra-śravase namo namaḥ vicakṣaṇā yac-caraṇopasādanāt saṅgaṁ vyudasyobhayato ntar-ātmanaḥ vindanti brahma-gatiṁ gata-klamās tasmai subhadra-śravase namo namaḥ. Vicakṣaṇah, highly intellectual, yet whose charana-upasādanāt, simply dedicating oneself unto the lotus feet, saṅgaṁ, attachment, vidasya, giving up completely, obeisances, for present and future existence, ntar-ātmanaḥ, of the heart and soul, vindanti, moves progressively, he suddenly brahma-gatiṁ, towards spiritual existence, gata-klamās without difficulty, tasmai unto him, subhadra, all-auspicious, śravase unto one who is heard, namaḥ, my due obeisances, namaḥ, again and again. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Savai Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto all auspicious Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto His lotus feet or relieved of all attachment to present and future existence and without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence. Please respond. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto the all auspicious Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto His lotus feet or relieved of all attachments to present and future existence and without difficulty progress toward spiritual existence. Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa has repeatedly instructed Arjuna, or for that matter, everyone concerned with becoming His unalloyed devotees. In the last phase of His instruction in Bhagavad Gita 18:64-66, He instructed most confidentially as follows: Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyaha shrunume paramam vachaha ishtosi me dhridam iti tato vakshyami hi te hitam manmanavo madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshatyam te pratijane priyosi me sarvadharman parityacha mame kam saranam vraja aham tvam sarvabhebhyo moksha ikshami ma sochaha. My dear Arjuna, you are very dear to me, and therefore only for your good I will disclose the most secret part of my instructions. It is simply this: become a pure devotee of mine and give yourself unto me only, and I promise you full spiritual existence, by which you may gain the eternal right of transcendental loving service unto me. Just give up all other ways of religiosity and exclusively surrender unto me, and believe that I will protect you from your sinful acts, and I shall deliver you. Do not worry anymore. Persons who are intelligent take serious notice of that last instruction of the Lord. Knowledge of the self is the first step in spiritual realization, which is called confidential knowledge. And a step further is God realization, which is called more confidential knowledge. The culmination of knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is God realization. And when one attains the stage of God realization, he naturally, voluntarily becomes a devotee of the Lord to render Him loving, transcendental service. This devotional service to the Lord is always based on the love of God and is distinct from nature of routine service as prescribed as karma yoga, jnana yoga, and dhyana yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are different instructions for such men of different categories, and there are various descriptions for varnashrama dharma, sannyasa dharma, yati dharma, and renounced order of life, controlling the senses, meditation, perfection of mystic powers, etc. But one who fully surrenders unto the Lord to render service unto Him out of spontaneous love for Him, factually assimilates the essence of all knowledge described in the Vedas. One who adopts this method very skillfully attains perfection of life at once. This perfection of human life is called brahma-gatiṁ, or the progressive march of spiritual existence, as enunciated by Srila Jiva Goswami on the basis of Vedic assurances. Brahma-gatiṁ means to attain spiritual form as good as the Lord, and in the form the liberated living being eternally lives on one of the spiritual planets situated in the spiritual sky. Attainment of this perfection of this life of life is easily available to a pure devotee of Lord without his undergoing any difficult method of perfection. Such a devotional life is full of kirtanam, smaranam, ikshanam, etc. As mentioned in the previous verse, one must therefore adopt this simple way of devotional life in order to attain highest perfection available in any category of human form of life in any part of the world. When Lord Brahma met Lord Krishna as a playful child at Vrindavan, he offered his prayer in which he said, Shreya Shri Bhaktim Udasyate Vibho Trishyanti ye Kevala Bodha Labhyate Tesham Asau Keshala Eva Sishyate Nanyat Yathastula Tushavaghatinam. Bhagavatam 10:14-4. Bhakti Yoga is the highest quality of perfection to be achieved by the intelligent person in lieu of performing a large quantity of spiritual activities. Bhakti Yoga is the highest quantity of perfection to be achieved by the intelligent person in lieu of performing large quantity of spiritual activities. The example cited here is appropriate. The handful of real paddy is more valuable than heaps of paddy skins without any substance within. Similarly, one should not A handful of real paddy is more valuable than heaps of paddy skins without any substance within. Similarly, one should not be attracted by the jewelry of karma kanda, jnana kanda, or even the gymnastic performances of yoga, but skillfully should take the simple performances of kirtanam, smaranam, etc. under a bona fide spiritual master, and without any difficulty attain the highest perfection. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Mama Jnanativirandasya Jnananjana Shlakaya Sakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagragunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadudam Parijanasagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Lalita Shri Vicakṣaṇā He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Veerabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Ganta Radha Ganta Namostate Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtai Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Deshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much once again. We welcome everyone for this Saturday Bhagavatam discourse at ISKM Pondicherry. Especially those who have come for the first time, we especially welcome them. So this is 4:16. Sukadeva Goswami continues his prayer. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto all auspicious Lord Krishna. The highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, or relieved of all attachment to the present and future existence, and without difficulty, progress towards spiritual existence. So, this is actually the sum and substance. The word is not intellectual, but the word is highly intellectual. There are many intellectual men. That is also stated. It's not only one. Only the devotees are intelligent. It is not like that. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse number 3, Manushyanam sagasteshu kaschit adi siddhaye datanam apisiddhana kaschin mam iti tattvatah. Out of many thousands of men, one may endure for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me as truth. So this is the most important thing. See, there are so many intellectual men available. Who is intellectual man? The basic intellectual man is the one who understands that he is not the body. That is a basic intellectual capacity. So when he comes to that understanding, he understands that he is not the body. So he is intellectual man. But when he go further, that theory is not sufficient. He has to come to practical methods. So then he tried to understand that who am I? That is next intellectual platform. So first he understands that he is not the body by various philosophy or practical difficulties. He understands that he is not the body. And the second stage is that he comes to the point of questioning, then who am I? Atado Brahma Jignasu. Then he comes to the third platform of inquiring, who am I? Then when he is trying to understand who am I, then he understands that he is a soul. Then he also understands that he travels inside. There are many kind of ways to connect him with God. Then there are different yogas like karma yoga. That's a basic stuff. Karma yoga is a basic stuff because he's not giving up his karma. He's not giving up his karma. Even Krishna is also telling, don't give up karma. Krishna is advising, do not give up karma. We don't need to give up our activities. So at the initial stage, we should not. So what is the best thing is that at least you do karma as per the spiritual instructions. Suppose you want to enjoy something, at least you enjoy based on what is mentioned in philosophy, scriptures. What is that? Shastra. Tasmā shastram pramanam kurute karya karya vasthitam. So you should do everything based on what the Shastra says. That is the next stage. So, like that is the karma. That's the same thing is explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse number 16 also. Evam pravartitam chakram. See here? You're also there, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 16. My dear Arjuna, the man who does not follow the prescribed Vedic system of sacrifice suddenly leads a life of sin. For a person delighting only in the senses lives in vain. So, the next intellectual platform, it goes to the platform of not living for sense gratification, but enjoying the senses as explained in the Vedas. So, it is sacrifice. You just do sacrifice because sacrifice cannot be given, tapasya cannot be given at any point of time. Right? Because that is the most important thing. That is also told in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse number 5. Lord Krishna is saying that yagnyadanat tapakarma na tyajyam karyam yevatat. Yagnyodanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishina. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up but should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, penance purify even the great soul. So this is the next level. When you come to next level, he tried to work based on the karma yoga, and then after that he tried to at the point of time the karma will always give misery, even if it is good karma, bad karma. Let us see the example of Chitraketu wanted a son. Actually he is not supposed to get a son. That is his fate, but he doesn't accept the reality. He was always lamenting. Then what to do? Then Angira came. He came and told him, "No, man, I'll give you one sweet. You just give it to your beloved wife." He has so many wives. He had so many wives, and he told, "You give it to your wife whom you like so much." He gave, and she said that Angira said, once she get that sweet, she will get pregnant, and you will get a son, and the son will give so much happiness to you. At the same time, you will also give so much distress to you. See, normally when you have two options, happiness and distress, we will come to the mentality of let us face the difficulty later. Let us enjoy now. Just like we take so much of sweets. Just a minute, sorry. Hare Krishna. வண்டி வந்துச்சு காலையில் வந்துச்சு. அந்த கம்பி கட்டுறவங்க அவங்க இடம் எங்க போடுறேன்னு சொல்றேன்னு சொன்னா வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன். 8 மணிக்கு வரேன். நாங்க வண்டி 7 மணிக்கெல்லாம் வந்துச்சு. கம்பி கட்டுறவங்களுக்காக வெயிட்டிங். வந்திருப்பாங்க நினைக்கிறேன். நான் செக் பண்ணி சொல்றேன். ஓகே, நீங்க வந்துருங்க. நீங்க ஆள் அனுப்பிச்சு விட்டுருங்க. வண்டி வந்துச்சு. சரி, வந்திருப்பாங்க நேரம். சாரி. So Chitraketu, he told, of course, normally when we get happiness and distress, we don't worry about the distress that is coming later on, right? So we just try to enjoy what is present. what is present. That's what we see. We don't see the future. It's like you take so much sweet, and we know that we make it diabetic after some time. But let us see later. Now let us enjoy the sweet. The person who smokes, he smokes. He'll get diseases. Okay, let us see later. No problem. Let us enjoy now. That's the mentality. And similarly, Chitraketu also, okay, distress we see later. First of all, I'm getting a son, no? That's good. So he got a son, and the son born, right? After the son born, the whole country become like a festival. Everywhere they were actually enjoying, relishing. The new prince have born. And that mother who gave birth to the boy, she became the most dearmost queen for the Chitraketu. So what he did is he started rejecting all other wives. He was spending time only with his wife and that boy. He forgot about everybody else. So things were moving. Naturally, other women got envious. So they had some meeting how to resolve this problem. So everybody gave different suggestions, and one lady gave a good idea. It was sarcastic. It's not a good idea. It's a very bad idea. But she said that, okay, the problem is the sun. Let us kill the sun. Once the sun is killed, all of us are equal stage. So they decided to kill the sun. So they took the baby, and then they mixed poison with the milk and killed the baby. The son died. So everybody started screaming. The whole country, it became like a graveyard. And all were crying. Chitraketu was crying for non-stop. Non-stop he was crying. And that time Narada and Angira came. And then actually was giving the philosophy. Then the philosophy was not working. Narada wanted to give the practical experience. He said, I can call the sun back. Then Chitraketu was happy. Then Narada went and touched that boy. Then the boy woke up. And then Chitraketu was very happy. Mother was very happy. All of them were happy. They want to go and hug this child. Oh, my dear child. But the child woke up and then said, who are you? Why am I here? He said, you are my son. I'm your father. Which father? Which son? No. I'm dead means finished. Now I am in different consciousness. Now I am different platform. You are not my father anymore. Once that soul left the body, there is no connection. There is no connection. That is what that's what he said. Then Chitraketu he just got bewildered. What's going on here? What's going on? He got bewildered. The same thing is like, you can see this chapter 6, verse number 15. Chitraketu, the Jiva, the small boy is instructing. The small boy is instructing his father Chitraketu. 6:3:15. 6:3. Sorry, 6:15:3. 6:15:3. See here. Yatha prayanti samyanti shroto vegena balukaha samjutyante vyudyante tata kalena dehinaha. O king, as small particles of sand sometimes come together and or sometimes separated due to the force of waves. The living entities who have accepted material bodies sometimes come together and sometimes separate by the force of time. This is told by the Jiva. Then he realized what we are saying is karma can never give you happiness. So after performing the karma yoga, then he come to the point of detachment. Then he think of jnana. Then after jnana, we understand that who is God. Vasudeva param jnana. He come to that understanding. Then he do dhyana to meditate on the Lord. But the devotees, they don't waste their time in karma yoga, jnana yoga, and dhyana yoga. No, they take bhakti yoga. That is why they are actually called as highly intellectual platform. See, if we are sitting here and all of you are hearing this Bhagavatam today, it means we were also karma yogis some part of time. We were also jnana yogis for some part of time. Dhyana yogi for some part of time, and atheistic rascals for some part of time, right? We also were like that, right? We were also like that. That is why Krishna is saying that Manushyanam Sagasreshu Kaschid Yadi Siddhaye Etatam Abhisiddhanam Kaschin Mam Eti Tattvatah. We saw just now. That's why he is saying like that. That's the reason. Yeah, that is a highly intellectual means a devotee. That is why Krishna is calling them Mahatma. Chapter 7, verse number 19. Krishna is calling such devotees as Mahatma. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. After many births and death, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. See, it's a great soul. He is highly intellectual. That is why he is called as Mahatma. Why is he Mahatma? Because he is understanding that Krishna is supreme. Is that enough? No. We also understand that we have to surrender to Krishna. Is that all? No. He also surrenders to Krishna. Surrendering is not easy. No. Surrendering is not the joke. People normally say that Prabhu, I have surrendered. No. Especially other sects, other sampradayas. Sometimes out of immature mentality, they say like, Prabhu, I am surrendered. I am surrendered soul. I am surrendered soul. Surrender is not easy. Surrender is not easy. You see here, of course, this is not an original version of Bhagavad Gita. That's why I am showing from Veda base. But actually it is from Hari Bhakti Vilas. So 11.676. What is surrender? Anukulasa sankalpaha pratikulasa varjanam rakshisi vishvasho goprutve varanam tata atmanikshep karpanye sadvida saranagati. That is saranagati. Only when you surrender, you are Mahatma. If you are not surrendered, you are not Mahatma. So translations here. Yeah. According to devotional process, one should simply accept such religious principles that will lead ultimately to devotional service of the Lord. One may perform a particular occupational duty according to his position in all social order. But if by executing his duty, one does not come to the point of course, it is not translation, no? It is explanation. So let us see if it is there somewhere else. Let us see. Maybe it should be Chaitanya Charitamrita. Anybody knows where it is? Yeah. Let us go to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 2200. So here it is mentioned what is surrender. The 6 divisions of surrender or acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service. So it means if you are a surrendered person, if you say you are surrendered, then you should accept everything which is can be used in devotional service. That's why we normally say that advanced devotee does not see anything Maya. I mean, advanced devotee sees nothing is Maya. Because he tries to use everything in Krishna service. So where is illusion? So what is illusion? What is Prabhupada? The definition of Maya is something which is not. Right? Maya means something which is not. It means asat. So which is asat here? Asat means where Krishna is not there. The moment Krishna is present, it becomes sat. So where Krishna is not there? Is he not in the earth? He is not in the water? He is not in the air? He is everywhere, no? That is why devotee is seeing Krishna everywhere. That's why for him nothing is Maya. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya is not accepted by devotees. The Mayavadi says that Brahman is Satyam. Everything is Mithya. Mithya means just like dream, imagination. But devotees don't accept it because devotee sees Krishna everywhere. Right? That is explained by Yamadharmaraj. I was showing that day. Let me try to see this. 6th canto, 3rd chapter. Yamadharmaraj is explaining 6.3.12. You can see this. 6.3.12 of Bhagavatam. Yama Uvacha. Yamaraj said, my dear servants who have accepted me as a supreme, but factually I am not. Above me and above all other demigods, including Indra and Chandra, there is one supreme master and controller. The partial manifestation of his personality are Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, who are in charge of the creation, maintenance and annihilations of this universe. He is like the two threads. This is what I am trying to say. He is like the two threads that form the length and breadth of the woven cloth. See, the entire world is controlled by him, just like a small bull, just like a bull controlled by the rope of his. Okay, anyway, he is like the two thread that form the length and breadth of the woven cloth. Just like a cloth, the thread is everywhere, lengthwise, breadthwise. The thread is everywhere. Where the thread is not there, it's told by Yama. And similarly, Krishna is also everywhere. That's why the devotees does not see anything away from Krishna. Anything away from Krishna. So that's why the expert devotee, at least under an expert devotee's guidance, he should be either intelligent, expert, or at least work under expert, just like Prabhupada. So the 6 divisions. First division is accept everything that you can use in Krishna service. So no discrimination. No discrimination. Because some sects say that, some people like Shankaracharya, they say, no, you should not get married. You should not get children. Oh, this is Maya. You cannot accumulate wealth. You cannot have a car. You cannot have this. You cannot travel over the ocean. Prabhupada travel over the ocean. Normally, sannyasis won't travel over the ocean. Prabhupada travel. Bhakta Sarasthakur used to wear watch and coat shoot and boots. And people criticize what kind of sannyasi he is. But actually, he was doing all these to impress that British people, to bring them to our movement. He wanted to look like a gentleman. Yeah, but the gentleman is not understood by external clothings. But in Kali Yuga, that's what people see. People see that someone who is looking like a beggar, they don't respect them. There is no respect, then you cannot preach. So see, basic requirement to preach is that you should demand respect. If there is no respect on me, how you listen to me? If there is no respect from Prabhupada, how we listen from Prabhupada? How we surrender ourselves to Prabhupada? So the basic thing required is some respect to be there. The first class devotees do not demand respects. They don't demand respect. But the second class devotees, yes. So the first class devotee come down to second class platform mercifully. Who want to come down to second class platform? Going to first class is not easy, Still, acharyas are merciful. Now, man, I'll come down to second class platform to teach you. So that's why Bhakti Sarasthakur and even our Guru Prabhupada, they always wanted us to look like a gentleman, nicely shaved, nicely cleansed, nicely dressed. You have to go and present the philosophy, then people accept it. If you go like a beggar and you say, I'm doing tapasya, then they will give you 2 rupees to you and then Swamiji, Hare Krishna. That's it. They won't learn from you. That is why the first thing is accept anything you can accept, no problem. But that should be used in Krishna's service, devotional service. Otherwise, no. That is second platform. Rejection of unfavorable things. You should be ready to even give up husband or wife. how much it is mentioned, rejection is mentioned is that normally the duty of the woman, the wife, is that she should not give up the husband at any time, right? At any point of time, he should not give up the husband, and that is actually the pati, that is the dharma of a patni, the wife. But Narada is saying in Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 11th chapter, 28th verse, Narada is explaining that see, a chaste woman should not be greedy but satisfied in all circumstances. She must be very expert in handling household affairs and should be fully conversant with religious principles. She should speak pleasingly and truthfully, and should be very careful and always clean and pure. Thus, see, this is very important. Thus, a chaste woman should engage with affection in the service of the husband who is not fallen. See, the point is here. The point is here. Prabhupada explains further in the purport. Okay. The word Naradhama means non-devotee. From here, anybody want to read this? It will be more lively.
Prabhu, shall I read?
From here.
Yes, Prabhu. The word, just a second, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. The word Naradhama means non-devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Jai bhaje shei bora abhakta hina chara. Anyone who is a devotee is sinless. One who is not a devotee, however, is the most fallen and condemned. It is recommended, therefore, that a chaste wife not associate with a fallen husband. A fallen husband is one who is addicted to the four principles of sinful activity, namely illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. Specifically, if one is not a soul surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is understood to be contaminated. Thus, a chaste woman is advised not to agree to serve such a husband. It's not that a chaste woman should be like a slave while her husband is Naradhama, the lowest of men. Although the duties of a woman are different from those of a man, a chaste woman is not meant to serve a foreign husband. If her husband is fallen, it's recommended that she give up his association. Giving up the association of her husband does not mean, however, that woman should marry again in this indulgent prostitution. If a chaste woman unfortunately marries a husband who's fallen, she should live separately from him. Similarly, a husband can separate himself from a woman who's not chaste, according to the description of the Shastra. The conclusion is that a husband should be a pure Vaishnava and the woman should be a chaste wife with all the symptoms described in this regard. Then both of them will be happy and make spiritual progress in Krishna consciousness.
So, just a minute, just give me a minute. So, see, even a wife can give up husband, then what else to speak? Prabhupada explained very clearly. If he is not a devotee, even a wife can give up husband. That is the most forbidden thing in the Shastra. Wife give up husband. Because a woman is actually, they are very soft and they need protection. They cannot live alone. That's why they always live in guidance. Because the human life is very rare. The purpose of human life is to go back to Godhead, right? Where it is mentioned in Bhagavatam, anybody can say? Where it is mentioned?
Which one, Prabhu?
The purpose of human life is go back to God. Janmalabha parapumsam ante narayana stuti. That is Shastra. Right? You know that? Janmalabha parapumsam.
216, Prabhu.
Huh?
216.
216. Krishna. Sukadeva Goswami instructing Savai Pumsam, like Yetavan. Yetavan Sankhi Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinischetaha Janmalava Parabhumsam Ante Narayana Spiti. The highest perfection of human life achieved either by complete knowledge of matter and spirit, by practice of mystic power, or by perfect discharge of devotional duty, is to remember the personality of God at the end of life. So that is the purpose of life. So if a woman is going to have a fallen husband, what is the use of serving him? Because when the husband get married, he promised on the fire that I will take care of you. I means the soul, not the body. Body just a cover. I means the soul. He guarantees that I will take you back to Godhead. But after that, he is not doing that, means he is a rascal. No? Why she should serve such an husband? You should give up. She should give up that kind of husband. No. She should give up. She should give up. That is why you should be ready to reject unfavorable things, whichever it may be, whatever it may be. Even your job, money, wife. At the same time, you can even get 500 children if you can produce Krishna conscious children. That is also there. You can produce 500 children. You can even get many wives. You can get many wives also. You can get many children also. But the point is, you should take them back to God. So otherwise, you should be ready to reject anything that is not helping in Krishna consciousness, whatever it may be. The conviction that Krishna will protect. Krishna will protect me always. And the acceptance of the Lord as the. So this is the important thing. You see, you should understand that. Okay, I mean, devotee should be ready to take risk for the pleasure of Krishna. Why we should worry? Everything belongs to Krishna, and we also belong to Krishna, and we are trying to serve Krishna. Why there is fear? Why there is a fear? You should fear when you are trying to do something away from Krishna. The son does not need to fear as long as he is following the father's instruction. Fear comes only when you don't listen to the Lord. Fear is only for the karmis. Devotees should not get fear. Devotees should not get fear. That's what actually the same thing is explained in Bhagavatam 11th canto, 2nd chapter. Sorry, it is not 11th canto, it's not here. Let's go here. Here actually explained about who will get fear, who will not get fear. See here, 11 to 37. Read this. You want to read this?
Yes, Prabhu. Fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body because of absorption in the external illusory energy of the Lord. When the living entity thus turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. This bewildering, fearful condition is affected by the potency for illusion called Maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, whom he should accept as his worshipable deity and as his very life and soul.
So the fear comes only when you turn away from Krishna. Otherwise, why to fear? Nothing to fear. When you are trying to serve Krishna, there is no point of fear. So you should have full conviction that Krishna will give protection at any point of time. Protection is mean to the soul, not to the body. If Krishna wants us to die, let us die. Why did Krishna did not protect me? Somebody asked the question. He is a devotee. Why did he die by COVID virus? Actually, Krishna said he will save the soul, not the body. If he goes, he's going back to Godhead. If he lives, he's going to serve here. What's the difference? Jivova, Marnova. Devotee, whether he live or die, doesn't matter. So you should understand that irrespective of the deterioration of body, irrespective of the death also, Krishna will always give protection. You should have that. The acceptance of the Lord as the one's guardian or master. You accept Krishna as your Lord and master. No, that is also important. And this full surrender, like Bali Maharaj. Ātmanaḥ, full surrender. How full surrender? That is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 22nd chapter, 45th verse, if I am not wrong. Sorry, around this. Slow down. Prana Dhara, I think 42, if I am 42. Actually, this is a prayer by Prithu Maharaj to 4 Kumaras. That is for the devotees. But the same thing is applicable to Lord also, because the Lord and devotees, they are not different, They are not different. Yeah, 44. See how to surrender? You read this? You're there? Anybody want to read this?
Yes, Prabhu. The king continued, therefore, my dear Brahmanas, my wife, children, home, furniture, and household paraphernalia, my kingdom, strength, land, and especially my treasury, all are offered unto you.
This is everything. Prana, Dara, Suta, Graha, Saparichiddha, Rajyam, Balam, Mahi, Kosha, everything. Sarvam Niveditam. You should surrender like that, not reservation. Everything you should be ready to give to Krishna. That is full surrender, full self-surrender. The next thing is humility. You should be humble, not puffed up. Parpanya. These are the surrender. Different kind of surrender to Krishna. So that is why Krishna is saying in that's what. Let us go back to. Actually, we started from 7:19, right? When we explaining 7:19, we came here. Let us go back to 7:19. Who is intelligent? We're discussing, right? So it is not just understanding Krishna is supreme. Then you also understand that you should surrender to him. Then you also surrender to him. How to surrender we saw just now, the 6 divisions. Accept everything favorable, reject everything unfavorable, have faith that Krishna will always protect you, and you accept him as your father, mother, guardian, everything, and full surrender. And then last one is humility. The one who surrenders like that, then he is actually in knowledge. He is who is actually knowledge. Jnanavan. He is actual knowledge. Mam prabhaddhite. Not only that, not only Jnanavan, Krishna also called him as Mahatma. Not only that, he's saying Sudurlabha. See, sitting here and discussing Bhagavatam coming down from the lips of those devotees who are in Madhurya Bhava, it is actually not easy thing. Hearing Bhagavatam itself is not an easy thing. And hearing from devotees itself is not easy thing. And hearing from pure devotees not easy thing. And that too, hearing from someone like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in Prema, who is always in the Madhurya Bhava, not easy thing. So that's why you should use this life, and you should become highly intellectual man. Let us come here. Highly intellectual. Simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, or relieved from all attachment to his present and future existence. Okay? Highly intellectual means surrender to Krishna. We saw just now. If you don't surrender, you're not intelligent, right? We connect this, right? From here, we connect this Bhagavad Gita, then we correct Hari Bhakti Vilas, then we understood that who is intellectual man. When we surrender, that's another thing. When the police raise the pistol, hands up, you raise the hand. Without pistol, if the police says raise your hand, you are not going to raise your hand. And some normal man comes, asks you to raise your hand, there is no question of raising hand also. You are surrendering yourself when you understand that you can't do anything yourself. There is no other goal. There is no other way. Only when you come to that point, you surrender. Otherwise, you don't surrender. Why we should surrender? I can do myself. I have a better idea. So the surrendering is for only devotees. The bhakti yogis, other yogis, the difference is the surrender process. The jnana yogis, karma yogis, dhyana yogis, they don't surrender. Because they are speculates. They speculate. They are trying to understand God. They are trying to do everything by themselves. So it means there is no surrender. So the bhakti yoga and other yoga, the beautiful thing is the surrendering and devotional service. That is the difference. The surrender when we understand that, sorry sir, no other way. No other way. I tried this, I tried that, I tried this and tried this. I cannot do anything myself. You are the only shelter. Just like Draupadi. When Dushasana was disobeying Draupadi, Draupadi tried in so many ways. She was trying to cry. She was trying to seek help from Bhishma Pitamaka. And then all the great personalities sitting there. She was looking at the king, looking at the Bhishma, looking at the Kripacharya, looking at their husband, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sakadev, nothing. Then finally what she was doing, she was trying to use her energy to protect herself. And then finally, when she understands that her sari is getting disrobed, then she was trying to cover her breast. She was trying, but of course, Dushasana is a man and also a Kshatriya, strong person. Of course, Draupadi could not do anything for a long time. Dushasana is powerful. He was disrobing. And finally, she left the two hands. She did not care about covering her breast. She left the two hands, raised up and said, Govinda. And immediately sari came. Yeah, of course, that is the most important. Of course, I explained this, I told this so many times, but nothing wrong in telling again and again. 222 per part, the two-bird example. Of course, many times I told it should be boring also, but you see, although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of the fruits of the tree. But when somehow, some way or other, he turns his face to his friend, who is the Lord and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird becomes free from anxiety. The only fees that you have to pay for devotional services, just turn your face towards Krishna. Just turn yourself to Krishna. Just surrender to him. Just surrender. That is why Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityacha mam ekam saranam praja aham tvam sarva bhavepyo mokshayikshami masucha. Give up all kind of, give up all ways of religiosity and exclusively surrender unto me alone. Believe that I will protect you from all sinful acts. I shall deliver you. That is what required. Nothing else is required, Krishna demands only this Shraddha. Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings. Shraddha mulye suddha nam loile ananda. Paramananda. Shraddha madre suddha nam Paramananda. Krishna, Nityananda Prabhu is giving the holy name to you. What based on what condition? Shraddha madre. Only if you have faith, Krishna is going to give. Nityananda is giving the holy name to you. But Shraddha is required. After Shraddha, gradually develop and finally you come to the full surrender platform. Full surrender. When you are fully surrendered, then you are relieved of all attachment to present and future. See, attachment is there because of wrong understanding, misunderstanding. Why we attach to wife and children and the body? Why? Because of misconception that we are the body. And similarly, we also have misconceptions that we can enjoy this world. There is some happiness in this world. Krishna says that this is Dukkalayam, right? Just a minute. There is one nice sloka I want to show you. Yeah, I'll show you that. 649 purport, it is there. So we trying to enjoy, we trying to think that there is some happiness here. That's why we are trying to do some college, we are trying to do this course, we are trying to make money, we are trying to get married, we are trying to settle, we are trying to build a house. So many karmas we are doing. You see, that will give you only suffering. It's actually told by Manu Samhita. In Manu Samhita it is mentioned that Pravritti Resha Bhutanam Nivrittim Shu Mahaphala. Pravritti means there are two paths. One is Pravritti Marga, another one is Nivritti Marga. Path of attachment and path of detachment. Pravritti Marga means the path of attachment. Nivritti Marga means the path of detachment. People in general, when they are in illusion, they take the path of Pravritti Marga. Pravritti Marga. Attached. Me, my wife, my children, my father, mother, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, my house, my furniture. That is Pravritti Marga. People think it is happy, but that doesn't give happy, just like Chitraketu's story. Does not give happiness to you at all. Right? Karma always have a result. The result is good and bad, not good or bad. Anything you do, there is good and bad effects. Whatever you do. Just like as I jokingly say sometimes, when you brush your teeth, it is good and bad. You are also killing some gems. Right? So there is also karma in that. Just like you are growing paddy and you are growing rice, nice. You are also killing rice and you are killing insects. You are killing the weeds. So any karma is actually having reaction, good and bad, not good or bad. So when there is reaction, then there is suffering. Then there is suffering. And also enjoyment, both. But if you look at the Nivritti Marga, the path of detachment, that Manu Samhita says, that gives Mahaphala. Mahaphala means a great result. Means great happiness. It's available only in the Nivritti Marga, the path of detachment. That's why the devotees, why I'm saying devotees is that, because here we are talking about devotees in this verse. This verse is not applicable to Karma Yogi, Jnana Yogi, Dhyana Yogi. No, it is only for devotees because this is highly intellectual. Highly intellectual. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ateva Santa Siddhi Buddhi Mukti Kami Sakali Asanta. Anyone who is a devotee is always happy because he has no expectation. Nishkama. Kama, what is kama? What is kama? Anybody can say what is kama? Definition of kama. What is kama? Anybody can define kama?
Prabhuji, Atmendriya Priticha, Krishnendriya Priticha Dhari Prem Nam, Atmendriya Pritivancha Dhari Prem Nam.
Very good.
That was.
You know the number? Let us search. Anyway, you want to search and tell me, it's okay. I can go on. Huh? There you search and tell me. So
Adi Lila 4:165.
Adilila?
4:165.
See, Admendriya Priti Vanchatare Balikama, Kushendriya Priti Ichadhare Prema Nama. The desire to gratify one's own senses is kama, lust, but the desire to please the senses of the Lord is prema. So is kama. Kama is not something. Kama is actually when you are trying to please yourself, it is kama. And trying to please Krishna is prema. So in that case, even when you are trying to procreate Krishna conscious children, that is not kama. When you are trying to get Krishna conscious children, that is not kama. That comes under prema. Because you are trying to please the Lord by producing more and more soldiers for Him. The devotees are soldiers, we are soldiers of Krishna. We are helping in Krishna's mission. Understand? So the kama, why we came here? This kama is actually is dangerous. So it should be out of all the kama desire. That is nivritti marga. When you come to nivritti marga, you're out of all attachment. So you're my wife and my children, all these attachments should gradually go away. Only when this is going out of kama, then he is actually classified as highly intellectual man. So the attachment to go away, it means for that you need a lamp of knowledge. Without knowledge, you cannot cut the illusion. So normally people think that illusion, knowledge is good. Right? Knowledge is good. Actually, knowledge is good, but knowledge is just the beginning. See, knowledge is, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, I think verse number 7, if I'm not wrong. Let us go there. Knowledge is actually the lowest. In spiritual life, knowledge is the lowest. Knowledge is not highest. Knowledge is the basic. I mean, lowest means it's not low class, but it's actually beginning stage. It's a basic, just like a foundation. In that sense, knowledge is required. At the same time, you cannot think that knowledge is everything. Is this somewhere here only? He's saying that jnana is low. Yeah. See here? Read this. Who want to read this? Hey, please. Go ahead, Mataji. Diksha Mataji, you can go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is reunification of the fruits of action. For by such reunification, one can attain peace of mind.
Renunciation. So
Renunciation.
So the knowledge is the base. Knowledge is not the end. Understand? Knowledge is the base. So you should not be so much happy that I know this sloka, that sloka, this sloka, that sloka. Yeah, it is good. I mean, all the slokas tells only one thing, that Krishna is supreme. When you understand that you are Mahatma, you know everything. Yasmin vijñāte sarvam vijñātam bhavati. So Prabhupada is saying that I wrote all these books simply to convince you to chant Hare Krishna. That's it. Yeah. But we are reading every day to increase our faith, to make the foundation. Of course, we cannot even ignore the knowledge because it is a foundation. You cannot ignore the knowledge. But what we are saying is, don't think that is all. The knowledge, you should meditate on Krishna. How to meditate? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Meditate on Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, meditate like that. Then more than meditation, than renunciation of rules of action. Atmanikshepa, give everything for Krishna. That is full surrender. See, same thing. Actually, it's same thing, Same thing is explained in different way, but if you understand from a proper spiritual master, you can understand that. Yeah. That's why we go back to today's verse. The highly intellectual man, he understands that there is nothing to get attached here. Nothing is mine. Samsara, repeated birth and death, the birth and death, the birth and death, and simply suffering after suffering after suffering. Just like the same ice cream. You have strawberry flavor, vanilla flavor, chocolate flavor, blackcurrant, whatever. But the chocolate, ice cream is ice cream. Only the flavor is different. Similarly, in this world, there is suffering. Suffering is always there. But only the nature of suffering is changing. Right? So, when you come to highly intellectual platform, then you give up attachment to this world, illusory world. Right? Then not only present, also future. You don't want to take birth again. Right? It's not that I want to go to Swargaloka, I want to enjoy there. No. Present and future, no attachment. And without difficulty, when you come to that platform, we progress very fast in spiritual life. Very fast. Very fast. No need to worry. Because now you have no baggage. Your karma is your baggage. Your illusion is your baggage. But when you come to this platform, there is no illusion, there is no karma. Then you become completely free. And it is very easy to go back to Godhead. Yeah. That's what as Prabhupada says, that we should take the last instruction of Krishna, that is surrender to him. Same thing we discussed today. Surrendering to him is the most important thing. That is the topmost level. That you have to chant, hear, smaranam, antanam, you have to do all this. Prabhupada says Bhakti Yoga is the topmost of everything. Right? All we discussed today. If you have any questions or comment, let us go to chat first. Any questions in chat? Ram Prabhu Hare Krishna, Ram Prabhu. And then Kavir Suprabhu Hare Krishna. So today is your Bhaktivinoda Thakur disappearance day. Right? So our best wishes fast for that. I'll give a feast for Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Subramanya Prabhu. So we don't have to worry about upsetting anyone except a devotee in process of executing devotional service, right? See, you cannot take it granted like that. You don't need to upset anyone. Why you should upset someone? But upsetting someone is required to please Krishna, then it is okay. It is not that okay, I don't need to worry. Krishna is there. I can treat the non-devotees like hell. It is not like that. Should try not to agitate others. You see here, Bhagavad Gita chapter 7. See, of course, Subramaniam Prabhu question is, you cannot read the question. You can read the question yourself. I'm reading aloud. So we don't have to worry about upsetting someone, upsetting anyone, except a devotee in progress of executing devotional service. So he's asking that. So when we say that you should be ready to give up everything which is not guided to Krishna, he's asking whether we should worry about upsetting someone or not. Yeah, but here you see Bhagavad Gita chapter 17 verse 14. It is mentioned that austerity of body consists in this. 14 or 15, sorry, 15, next verse. And say the austerity of speech consists in speaking truthfully and beneficially, and in avoiding speech that offends. One should also recite Vedas regularly. So, we should try to offend others. Sorry, we should try not to offend others. Try to use the pleasing words. How Krishna is explaining, Anuvedya, not agitating. When you speak, don't agitate others. Vakyam. Satyam, speak only truthful. But if truthful is agitating, then what can be done? See, you have to be truthful and also don't agitate. The thing is, even if you know truthful, If someone is not interested to hear that, don't talk to them about that. If someone don't want to hear about Krishna, why you want to talk about Krishna to him and make him more offender? But if it is required for your spiritual life, then no other goal. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, he did not want to offend his father, but he has to take a step. He has to show his point clearly. He said, my dear father, I cannot chant your name. I can chant only my Narayana's name. The father got agitated. Yeah, the point is, it is not that I take it granted they can upset anyone. No. If it is really required, you do it. If you have to upset someone, upset. Just like a guru, he upset the devotees sometimes, disciples. He tells the disciples which is not pleasing for him. He gives something, something which is difficult for him to do and make him upset. But Guru does it, he considering this point truthful. And also you see, hitam, beneficial. You have to consider all this. Beneficial. You should speak to someone only if it is beneficial. Suppose actually I am talking to someone about Krishna, he does not understand Krishna is God. I can just chastise them and make him, like upset, agitate him. No. If he is not interested, why you go and talk to him? Because it is not beneficial. It is not hitam. It is beneficial. See, if I talk about Krishna to you, it is beneficial to you. If you talk about Krishna to someone atheist, it is not beneficial to him nor for you also. You are hearing blasphemy and then he is committing blasphemy. So you should not do that. But if it is required for your strength or to make some stand, just like Prahlad Maharaj, you have to do that. Haridas Thakur, you have to do that. Haridas Thakur do not want to stop chanting Hare Krishna. Muslim king got agitated, that servants got agitated, but what to do? I mean, that is not in our hand. So, devotee, there is no written law that you can just go on upsetting anyone, whatever. You can speak whatever you like because you are pleasing Krishna. No, it is not like that. Speak only if it is useful. Sit here, Subramaniam Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Nayyappa Prabhu. So Maya tries their best to illusion us so that surrendering gets tougher. No, surrendering does not get tougher if you really want to surrender. That's what actually I showed just now. You just need to turn your face to Krishna. That's it. Then Krishna says that Mahasmanastu Mam Partha Devim Prakriti Mashita, right? 9:13 of Bhagavad Gita. See, it is not tough. For devotee, it is not tough. It is tough for the Jnanis, Jnana Yogis, not Jnanis. It is tough for the Karma Yogis, tough for the Jnana Yogis, tough for the Dhyana Yogis, not for the Bhakti Yogis. For Bhakti Yogis, you don't need to worry about Maya. It's Mama Maya. Krishna says, my Maya, just like we say that, it's my man, Like when some gangster is coming to beat you up, and then your friend come and say, it is my man, then how much happiness you get? You're relieved of all the fear, right? So here, Osana Prita, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality Godhead, original, inexhaustible. This is the divine nature. But you should not be deluded. The condition is no delusion, no confusion. Or whether who is God, why am I suffering, Bhakti Yoga is good or not, chanting is good or not, can I practice this, Prabhupada is good or not, this Sangha is good or not. No confusion, no confusion. Have sincere faith and just carry on chanting Hare Krishna, follow Prabhupada's instruction. Then actually Maya is not tough, Maya is easy. That is Krishna's job. Yeah. Diksha Mataji. Yeah, it is not desire, but desire, Kama is not desire, as we just explained. Desire away from Krishna is Maya. Desire with Krishna is Prema. But Prashad Prabhu, thank you for this wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam session, my dear Prabhu. I offer my respects for this. Diksha Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, those who are not following the Prabhupada instruction, do we get Vaishnava Aparad if we think negative about them? those who are not following Prabhupada's instructions, do we get Vaishnava aparadh? Mataji, can you make it clear? I don't understand your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I mean to say that sometime when we hear now, many of his disciples did changes in his books and are not following the instruction, final order and everything. So sometimes we get the negative thoughts when we saw some video or we think hear about that these people are not following Srila Prabhupada's instructions. And in that case, even that negative thought gives us some any kind of aparadh. Is there Vaishnava aparadh?
Just like a thief come to your house and stole something from your house, you report the police. Do you get negative thought because of that? Do you get some negative thoughts because you complain?
Yes.
Huh?
No.
You don't get any negative thoughts because he stole from your house and you're complaining to the police, right? But you don't need to meditate on the thief unnecessarily. Understand? He stole something in your house, then you report to the police, sir, he stole something from my house, you please take it back from him. And police restore it and give it to you. Then there is no negative thought. But you keep on meditating on the thief unnecessarily, then you get negative thoughts. Similarly, those who are disobeyed Prabhupada, all this, your question is basically about the gurus, right?
Right, Prabhuji.
Yeah, those who have disobeyed Prabhupada by taking the guru's post and all those things, when you are preaching to someone, you talk about it only for enlightening them or teaching them, that is all right. Do not go more than that. See, our primary role is to preach Krishna consciousness, right? When a new Bhakta comes, we have to tell them chanting the most important thing. So do not waste your time on telling about this Guru Maharaj, that Guru Maharaj, what happened there, what happened here, not required. Of course, that will simply make you negative. Just like this, there is a magazine called Back to Prabhupada. If you open the book, there will be only this kind of stuff, all negative stuff. See, we don't say, don't highlight this. Highlight this only when it is required. Just like a new Bhakta, just like you are new. Okay. Suppose you are new. Initially, I need to explain what is ISKCON and what is ISKM, right? You will have, for that I need to explain. See, this is what Prabhupada wanted. These people have disobeyed, and then you are convinced. Once you are convinced, either you or me, we have nothing to do with them. A thief came and stole from your house. You got back your property, and the thief is no more in your life, right?
Right, Prabhuji.
He is no more. Is that they disobeyed Prabhupada. And then I understood it. Somebody told me, I understood. Okay, these people disobeyed. What I should do? They are thieves, they are rascals. Why I should worry about them? By worrying about them, my conscience is becoming negative, as you rightly said. So, calling a thief is not offense. Suppose you tell them they disobeyed Prabhupada, they took Prabhupada property, they manipulate the movement, they mess up the whole movement. When you say that, there is no offense because you're stating the fact. But what happens is, it is not about offense, but you keep on telling, only seeing negative things. Where is the positive? What are you going to do? Just like some Prabhupada movement in the world, they spend their majority of time to only see what ISKCON is doing, how they are disobeying, how they are changing, how they are doing that, how they are doing that. But they are not teaching what we have to do now, right? Suppose you say, this is bad, naiti. This is actually what? Naiti. It's not this, not this, not this. What we have to do, that we have to tell now. So the point is that you can tell people they are offenders. There is no Vaishnava aparadh in that because you're telling the fact. If you say that this guru is not qualified, there is no offense. But do not make a personal, do not try to avoid the personal criticism. Do not make it personal. Just like somebody, for example, Jai Pataka Swami, somebody says Jai Potato Swami. That is aparadh. That is offense. Suppose you Jai Potato Swami, it is offense. You are making some personal criticism. But when you say that they are not qualified to be gurus, there is no offense in it. So you should know your limits, Only use it if it is required. Otherwise, don't use it. There is no negative thought in it. There is no negative. That's why I give example. When you report the police about the thief, there is no negative thought in it. But when you keep on meditating about them, see, you don't need to. The thing is, ignore them. Once you know that they cheated Prabhupada, their page is not in your book, life book. Remove their page from your life book and throw it away. Prabhupada, and go to the similar devotees, those who are having the same mindset. Spend time with them. In that way, you'll get some positive attitude. Then you'll be fixed up with your spiritual life. Otherwise, you'll be just like some Prabhupada Anagas. They totally got deviated. They think that the purpose of life is to point those who are deviating Prabhupada. Now, why we should do this? Our life is not to judge others now. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you for clearing this.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dheeraj Prabhu, is it okay to tell the truth to someone who might not be able to bear it? Why? See, that's also there, You can tell the truth to someone who cannot bear it. If he is your son or your disciple, disciple means, Siksha and Diksha, both. Suppose you are preaching to someone, he is your disciple also. Siksha, disciple. Suppose you are trying to preach someone, cultivate someone, trying to make him Krishna conscious, you can tell him the truth that he cannot bear. But he should be qualified for it. If he's not qualified, don't tell it. Don't tell. Just like your friend is there and he's newly coming to Krishna consciousness. And you tell everything, hey, you cannot eat meat, you cannot illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, you cannot do that. Next day, he won't come to you. Prabhupada did not say all this when he went to foreign countries. He just told them to chant Hare Krishna. So the truth also should be told only to surrendered people. Those who are not surrendered, you don't need to tell them. Those who are not ready to listen, no need to tell them. Those who are ready to listen, then you tell them at the right time. You should know that. You should be expert. You should be knowing that. Whether is he qualified to understand what I am saying? No. Wait for some time. How he'll get qualified? Make him chant Hare Krishna. He is not interested to chant Hare Krishna. What to do? At least make him as a well-wisher. At least make him read Prabhupada books. Then you wait for him. If he's against, envious, ignore him. Right? So you have to be expert, how to say, whom to say, when to say, is all the things. What is the use of simply making him against this Hare Krishna movement at all? It's not required. So you just tell the truth at the right time. Until then you wait. Engage him in, try to engage him in different kind of devotional service based on his capacity. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes, thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions anybody want to ask? Can unmute and ask. So if no other questions, we can finish the session.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
There is one question.
Yes.
So, suppose if there is some internet forum, right, where maybe there are offenders. Let's say right now the discussion is going on, and right now there are offenders. But then the same forum is going to be read by everyone. And we don't even know, the new reader would be an offender, or let's say would accept, we don't know. So what to do in that kind of case?
What do means actually, so what to do with the internet forum?
Yeah, I mean, we should tell the truth over there, or we should leave it.
There are three things, Prabhu. See, you should try to preach. And if it is the recipients are not interested here, then you leave the place. Because actually there are three things. When a Vaishnava is offended, you should do three things. First of all, defeat them in argument. And if it is not possible, then you kill yourself, or you leave the place. You have to do any of the three things. Okay.
Okay.
So the thing is, like, I mean, someone new people will come and read and all those things. That all depends upon the new person also. You are also a new person, right? You are also a new person, but those did not come to you. Those did not distract you, right? Just a minute, just a minute. Hare Krishna. Chalo, Guru. So it is all depends upon your sincerity. If you really want to know, then Krishna will show you. All depends upon your sincerity. If you're very sincere, you will be taken to a sincere guru. If you're not sincere, you will be taken to bogus guru. So it is all about yourself. So normally internet forum nowadays is all a platform of gossiping. It's all a gossiping platform. The best thing is, I mean, I also was in all the gossiping in internet forum long back, 10 years back. And after that, I totally stopped it because it is all simply a place of gossiping. You tell something, you tell something, you tell something, you tell something. And there is no definite conclusion arrived in there. So don't waste your time in that. Just leave the place. Ignore it.
Okay.
Best
Bro.
thing is, just leave the place. But if someone really want to help, here you can discuss about it. Mostly nowadays, nobody want to hear anybody,
Yes.
Nobody want to hear anybody. They just like to do whatever they like. So the best thing is you just look for someone who is interested and then associate with them. Otherwise, ignore. That is the best way.
Okay, bro.
Any other questions? Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Madhya.
Prabhuji, I have one question. Like, like if our tulsi leaves were dried up, those then can we use their sticks in the yagna?
Sorry?
Can we use the sticks of tulsi mata in the yagna?
Yeah. Why not?
There's no aprad in that, no?
No. Yajna means you're pleasing Krishna.
Okay. Thank you.
Yajna means you're satisfying the Lord. Right? As long as she is used in service of the Lord, why she is going to worry?
Okay.
But plugging of tulsi is concerned, you cannot pluck on Dwadasi day. That all of you should know. If for Dwadasi offering, you have to pluck 1 day, 2 days before and make arrangement. The Dwadasi day, one should not pluck tulsi. That is even for Krishna service, you should plug 1 day before.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, Dheeraj, is it okay? Tell the truth. Yeah, I will explain it. Okay. So, thank you for coming today's session. Let us all meet next week. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Vendra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the session, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Jai Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. All Guru Krishna Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada.